Okay, guys, this is going to be a little bit of a quick video today. This is in response to a question Rags raised on Twitter about nitpicks. Like, what do you constitute as a nitpick? I sent my own little response. I'm not really going to go deep into it. All I really said was, it was just a thing some people say that may not be like, serious in a big context, but it's something that they notice anyway and that they point out. That's how I generally view a nitpick. And this comes into the structure of film criticism because there was a guy who criticized Rags recently, or not recently, a few months ago at least, called The Right Opinion, where he criticized Rags for criticizing I Hate Everything over his review of Star Wars: The Last Jedi, a more critique of how the fans reacted online and how bad I Hate Everything was just acting on that one, and Rags felt the need to respond to it. Then The Right Opinion responded to it, and he did not respond to it very well. So just people just accusing him of nitpicking all around, even though there was a lot of valid criticisms of that video and The Last Jedi in Rags' response to I Hate Everything. And so this is just it's just something I keep hearing, and it's really generally applied to places like CinemaSins, who, while they do make a lot of valid criticisms, they will nitpick sometimes, and then they'll nitpick just to make a joke, which I don't mind. Honestly, that just gives CinemaSins really good entertainment value to me, because they'll make some jokes like there, like they'll make like this lady isn't stripping in this scene, or like, hey, bite this apple, it'll make you look like an asshole. Those types of jokes. I really love those types of jokes, and really. It really made CinemaSins a little bit more endearing to me. Though there are genuine mistakes that CinemaSins does make. Like, I just watched this Halloween H2O review about, he was complaining about, Dr. Loomis. And, it's like, why the fuck does Marion have files that Dr. Loomis had of Laurie Strode? And it's like, and he doesn't mention in the next few scenes after we find out that Marion and Dr. Loomis were living together because Loomis was old and dying, and Marion was taking care of him. That basically, he was, they were living together. She was taking care of him. He neglects to, say anything about it. And he'll do that with a couple things. And he'll either say he's like, okay, I missed that. Sometimes he'll catch his mistakes. Sometimes, half the time he won't, though. So, it's just a genuine discussion. I want to have a genuine discussion about the concept of nitpicks. Because there is a lot of people, who will just pick on CinemaSins. I have friends and former friends who would picked on CinemaSins a lot because they were nitpicking. I'm like, but they have a lot. But I would always say in response, but they make good points. Just because they nitpick a bunch of stuff doesn't mean the points they make aren't genuine. Right? There's people who I loudly disagreed with on the political spectrum. But when they make a point that's right, I'll give them credit where it's due. They make a right point. Like if Piers Morgan, a guy who is regarded throughout the world as the biggest idiot of all time, when he's going out on Twitter and he's talking about bullshit that third wave feminists are saying, be like, yeah, he's kind of smart about it. He's kind of smart about what he's doing. It's like he's going after the easy targets. He's actually saying something that isn't stupid. Unlike when he's doing this stuff about gun control and stuff like that, like he did on his CNN show back in 2013. So it's like, if someone says something stupid most of the time, or they say things that aren't genuine, but they make good points sometimes, I will take their critiques or whatever, I'll take their points seriously a little bit more. And that's really what I kind of felt about CinemaSins, because I was like, damn, like, when I first found CinemaSins, I was like, oh my god, these people are just like, this guy's really good. Like, he's good at what he's, critiquing and stuff like that. And yeah, he'll miss a couple things here and there, but like his Star Wars, like, critiques of the Star Wars prequels, I mean, like, damn, they were pretty good. This was before I found the Plinkett reviews, which were much more in depth. CinemaSins just did it in his style of reviewing, which isn't technically review, it's just, picking out the pieces that are wrong. But he says a lot of good things about it. He says a lot of good things and good points. Things that he reiterates and things that he says that I honestly didn't think about. Like No, shit, I haven't watched it in a while, but he does make some interesting points in there that I generally didn't think about when I was watching the prequels as a kid or as a preteen. So he's like, he does some good stuff. But, like I said, my former friends were kind of, saying, like, well, they nitpick on a bunch of stuff. And it doesn't matter if they make good points from every now and again, all they do is nitpick. I'm like, well, it's kind of disingenuous. And, here's my thing. Everybody nitpicks, all right? Even though it's former friends, as I call them. Well, call one of them. Or a couple of them. Depends. They were nitpicky about CinemaSins' nitpickiness. Like, that's kind of disingenuous that you're just going to complain about CinemaSins being nitpicky, even though it is a comedic thing. That's kind of their shtick. That's how it got them successful. And I'm like, okay. And there was a point in I Hate Everything's video about, The Last Jedi haters, where he's like, CinemaSins is like part of the problem because we're like nitpicky and we're contributing to the hate these things get, even though a couple months before that he was, waylaying on Destiny 2 and he was being super nitpicky about that, and he said he did. He said he did. And so here's the thing that I just want to get at. I am okay with you being nitpicky about things. I'm honestly fine with it. I have absolutely no problem with you being nitpicky. As long as your point about the entire thing is accurate. It's like you can point out things that generally are missed, that are super small and just don't really matter, but you feel the need to address it anyway. But as long as your point is clear and you know what you're talking about, I don't mind. You really shouldn't mind. Now, there are times where people will nitpick unfairly. Like, they'll take something you're saying out of context and spin it around against you and use that against you later in another thing. That's the type of nitpicking I don't accept. But if you're, if you got a good critique of something or you're wanting to have a good discussion about things and, you want to address every issue, which is I'm pretty sure a lot of nitpickers do, despite the fact that it's very negative, I guess. You can do it. I'm fine with it. I don't care if you want to nitpick or not. That's your thing. I don't think nobody can really go through a discussion and not nitpick a point. I nitpick points all the time. At least I try to come to a big point that I'm trying to go to, saying, hey, this fits into this, or this fits into that, or that fit into those things. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. Is I'm okay with nitpicking. You don't have to come to a point, but it would be best if you came to a point about it. And if you're just going to nitpick just to be an asshole about it, I'm not really going to accept it. And if you nitpick all the time and you express that you're going to nitpick all the time, but you still make some genuinely valid points, I don't see how that's a big deal. Like, I don't see how that's a big deal. And it's just defensive. This video is just basically defensive, Mauler, Mags. Oh shit, I just mentioned that retard who said that you can get virtually raped in GTA 5. But Sam Mags, yeah, the lady who was on Mass Effect Andromeda's team. This is basically the defense of those guys, Rags, Mauler, Dishonored Wolf, CinemaSins, who I disagree with and quite a few things when it comes to politics, but he's a good guy. He seems like a good guy. So I'm not going to say, oh, he's wrong about absolutely everything, and this is why. I'm not going to be an asshole about it. As long as he's willing to have a genuine discussion about stuff, which he has a Twitter, so obviously he does. I'm good with it. And I'm just I want to spur like some type of debate. At least I know this video isn't going to get very popular unless by some dumb luck it does. But if it does, I really would, coming off of what Rags was kind of going with, I'd like to spur some type of discussion about nitpicks. And, about what is valid criticism, what it doesn't. Because it's a fallacy that nitpicks aren't valid criticism. Because nitpicks can be valid. Some nitpicks can be even bigger than nitpick. and you don't even know it. Going back to the thing where, you can find something that people just missed about it, and it's something that's actually very big instead of very small. So, anyway, that's what I just wanted to get at. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you want some good, discussions about films, go to EFAP. Just go to EFAP, look up Mahler, Rags, Dishonored Wolf. Watch their videos on stuff. They do some pretty good critiques. I generally agree with Mahler and Rags more on issues of film. Dishonored Wolf seems more like the guy who would nitpick just to be a little bit of an asshole, but he still makes a lot of fair points, and, he makes a lot of good criticism. And he's a pretty good guy, though he is going through some shit at the moment. So, basically, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't die.